FC24 is here, and knowing how to get the best start over your first 7 days is absolutely crucial to building a better team, even with no FC points. We're going to touch on multiple methods that will generate you more coins, get better players, and in turn help you win more games on FC24. When you load up FC24 for the first time, you're going to be given a bog standard squad with bronzes, silvers, and a few golds. Also, if you did pre-order the ultimate edition of the game, this is where you will get your pre-order FC points, and we'll talk about what you can do with them very shortly. Once you have your first squad, let's go ahead into the menus and take a look at what's available for us to complete. We're looking at the foundation SBCs, and we're looking at starter objectives. For example, renaming your club can get you some coins. Doing another objective can get you some bonus match coins. So completing these is very, very useful. And once you've done this, I don't say this very often, this is where you could then go and head into squad battles. This gives you a chance to actually play the game that you've purchased and earn some match coins in the process. And if you want to be serious about playing and upgrading your team and getting more wins in Ultimate Team, you should be doing these things while you're playing these games. Keep an eye on how the AI is actually playing and moving. When you think about it, depending on the difficulty that you have set, how the AI should play is theoretically how EA have coded the game to be played at the highest level. Recently on our podcast, we spoke to Mr. Dory, an FC24 analyst and coach who he believes strongly in this method. He advises taking notes of what the AI does. Are they crossing the ball a lot? Are they dribbling? Are there any skill moves that they're doing? Are they looking for over the top through balls? Are they keeping it on the ground? What is it that they're doing? This way you can take note and you can put this into your own game. Also, if you do want to listen to our podcast, a link in the description. It's available on Apple and on Spotify. It's called Let's Talk FC. Now, for the players that did pre-order the game and you have your FC points available to use, you have a couple of options. You can head straight into the store and go and rip the 150 FC points packs and go and sell pretty much everything you have here. At the start of the game, this is when these cards are at their highest value because people want them. If you pack an 85 rated, an 87 rated, even some 82 cards, they can be so valuable at this stage of FC24. Some people do decide to try and hold on to these points later down the line for some promos. In all honesty, your chances of packing promo cards, it is what it is. I'd rather you just open them now if you're going to go down that route. However, if you back yourself as an FC24 player and on FIFA 23 you hit maybe 11 wins plus in FUT Champs, you could go straight into the online draft method. Using those FC points, you go and build a draft team where you get to then play the game, try different cards, see what sort of cards you like, and as long as you make it past the first round, you'll get some pretty decent rewards back for it. You'd also have the option to do this in offline draft. The rewards aren't as good and there's no different rewards based on the difficulty that you set. So you could go down that route if you wanted to. Now, by this point, we should have done enough to go ahead and complete all of the SBCs that you need to get done with the foundations, to maybe possibly buy a couple of cards on the market to complete them. Make sure you go and get these done because then it opens up the rest of the SBCs for you to use on FC24. So if you've played some squad battles, you've played some drafts, and you've opened up any packs that you can, you should now have enough of a squad to go ahead and build your first team, to then go in to rivals. You want to make sure that you have enough chemistry as you possibly can. Chemistry on FC24 is basically where you have players from the same league and nations or even clubs. They link up to one another, which then means when you apply a chemistry style to those cards, they get a better boost. A player with no chemistry, for example, gets no benefit when a chemistry style is applied. A player with 1 chemistry will get a little bit of a boost. 2 chemistry, more of a boost, and then 3, the maximum boost that chemistry style does apply. You don't want to be too picky when you are building this first squad and the chemistry that you have. It's mainly just about you having something to go in and play division rivals with. And we want to play division rivals early because it gives you the chance to climb and then get those rewards, and also to start building your FUT Champions qualification points, which by the time the first FUT Champions weekend comes around, you need to make sure that you have that many. So this is actually quite important. People can forget about this in the first few weeks of the game, so make sure you get into some rivals at least. And obviously, contracts are still a thing in FC24. Using your gold commons for the 7 games or the contracts that they come with means that you can then go ahead and get rid of those cards after those 7 games are played. For me, this is something I've always done because it gives you the best bang for your buck. It doesn't make a difference if a player has contracts when it comes to discarding them or really even selling them. So use them for the 7 games, get the match coins out of them, and then look to ship them on via discarding or selling. But if you have a card in your club that you know this is going to be usable for the next week or 2, feel free to obviously apply contracts to them. You don't need to look to discard them and move them on. And a section of the game that I don't really dive into too much is trading, but this is where the principle goes that you want to try and buy a card on the market for low, and then you want to sell it for a higher price. If this is something that you want to do, there's so many coins that can be made there. No, it's an option, but unfortunately, I can't give you the advice on that because I'm not very good at it. Also, a way that you can generate more rewards, more packs, and just different things that you can do with it is the moment section of the game. This is bite-sized content where you can then go ahead and complete a moment, get moment stars, and then use them to trade those stars in for packs, for draft tokens, whatever it may be. It definitely isn't everyone's cup of tea, but should you have short time on your hands, that is an option to explore. Over the next few days also, the main aim should be for you to look to upgrade your team, play games, and look to improve. And you might say, why? Why do I want to improve? Well, as you are playing games and you're climbing the divisions, you are going to be earning points for the FUT Champions qualifiers. And then as you play in the qualifiers, you are trying to qualify for the finals. And this is really important because this is where the best rewards are on the game. This is how you improve your team. So as you're playing Rivals, you can catch many of my different videos that are tutorials to help you get better at FC24 and help you improve at your game. Remember to check in every Sunday for your squad battle rewards if you played any, and every Thursday for your division rival awards, but at this point they're going to be very, very useful. You get your rewards for playing in the FUT Champions qualifiers and the FUT Champions finals as soon as you finish your games in that. So we're just going to look to rinse and repeat this process of squad battles, division rivals, FUT Champions qualifiers, and then FUT Champions finals. And by this point, you should have your first proper starting 11. You probably want to try and stick to 1 league or 2 leagues to keep chemistry nice and simple. Probably avoid the Premier League because the Premier League tends to be the most expensive because, yes, that's where the best players are, but it's also where everyone wants to spend their coins. My advice here would probably be La Liga or Serie A. So now, as you're getting closer to the end of your first 7 days, EA are going to start to release player SBCs, like Player of the Months, for example. Some of these can be ridiculously cheap and really good value, and you can get a lot of games out of these cards. However, SBCs throughout the year of FC24, some of them can just be a coin sink, and you lose a lot of value in your club. So try and be very thoughtful about what sort of player SBCs you complete. We're going to be closing up to the end of your first 7 days by this point of the video, and this is where you need to make sure when you have that squad, you have some custom tactics to go with it.